social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
Woo! Grace and peace, everybody. You did not see a thumbnail. You did not see a title. Well, you might have saw a title. I'll take that back. Yo, 2025 has been wild. This week has been insane already. And we're only on Thursday. What am I talking about? Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, Hulk Hogan from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. The wrestler had passed away today. Let's bring this in. Let's talk about it. I didn't see this one coming. Let's go. This is wild.
Breaking news right now. TMZ reporting that wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71. This just coming into our newsroom. And here's what we do know from TMZ. Wow. Medics were dispatched to the WWE legend's Clearwater, Florida home early this morning. Operators stating it was regarding a cardiac arrest. We're also told that there were a lot of police cars and police presence and EMTs were parked outside of Hogan's home, and he was carried on a stretcher and into an ambulance. Just a few weeks ago, Hogan's wife, Sky, denied rumors that he was in a coma, stating his heart was, quote, strong as he recovered from surgeries.
Wow.
We were also told at that time he was just dealing with the symptoms of a neck procedure that he underwent in May. For some background on Hulk Hogan here, he transformed professional wrestling into a family entertainment sport. Before Hulk, wrestling catered to a fairly narrow audience. His theatrics in the ring were magnetic for children and their parents, and it supercharged the sport. And we do have some of that footage there for you here on your screen as we do continue to bring you this breaking news. Hulk, as we just said, he transformed professional wrestling, and in 1996, he transformed himself from hero to villain by creating the NWO, the New World Order, and became Hollywood Hulk Hogan. It propelled him and professional wrestling to even more fame. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame back in 2005. He was removed in 2015 after a scandal erupted over some comments there. But once again, he was truly a legend here in the WWE. And we also do have this post here coming in from Fox News. Hulk Hogan, who soared to the heights of professional wrestling and more recently endorsed President Trump, is dead at 71. So we are learning this breaking news here on Live Now from Fox that we did want to share with you. If we get any more additional details, we will bring it to you here. But if you are just tuning in, we are learning that wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at 71. This is according to TMZ. We do know that this was related to a cardiac arrest. That's what we're being told. And of course, we are getting some social media reaction coming in here. This is from Barstool Sports saying, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, an absolute legend. I'm going to see if we have any more reaction here from my producer. No, but okay, that's all right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to continue to look for these reactions here and bring them to you on Live Now from Fox as we do bring you this breaking news.
I don't know who had that plan. Look, 2025 is not playing games with us at all. There's a couple other newscasts about this, but 80s babies are taking a moment of silence. 80s babies are catching it this week. Good gracious, man. Good night. Say what you want to say, man. Hulk Hogan changed sports entertainment like nobody's business. Let's go. Shout out to the Hulkster. Let's go.
Good afternoon. We do have some breaking news we want to bring you. Wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has passed away.
First responders answering an emergency call at his Clearwater, Florida home. Caroline Coles joins us in the newsroom with more details. Caroline.
Yeah, we're just learning. TMZ is reporting that medics were dispatched to his Clearwater home earlier this morning, right after getting a call that the WWE legend was suffering from cardiac arrest. The publication also saying that the icon was put onto a stretcher and put into an ambulance. Keep in mind, it was just a few weeks ago that his wife, Sky, denied rumors that he was in a coma, saying his heart was strong after undergoing multiple surgeries. Hogan helped transform WWE into a family entertainment sport. A lot of people knew him. He was known for his magnetic personality, and he certainly was loved by fans around the world. He was even inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. That was back in 2005, but was removed in 2015 following a number of scandals. Despite all of that, he had quite the record. He was a 12-time world champion, and you can definitely believe that fans and fellow wrestlers are remembering him today as a larger-than-life figure. This is a developing story. We're just getting news of this. So, of course, as more information comes in, we'll update you all. Back to you in the studio.
Okay. I don't know. I just want to say this. I thought that was kind of a dope way that they have her her standing in the middle of the newsroom. You know, I thought that was kind of cool. That was kind of dope. Yo, what are we gonna do? Good gracious, man. All right, let's look at Fox. And I don't know, man. We might have to go downstairs and go lift some weights or something. Go check on these 22-inch pythons. Let's go. Only 80s babies know about that joke. All right, let's bring this in. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Wow, man. This is a crazy story.
TMZ is reporting wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at 71 years old.
That is a crazy
Correspondent
story.
Jeff Paul is live with more on this, Jeff.
Yeah, Harris, and again, a TMZ Sports reporting wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71 years old. WWE on the map. Now, medics were reportedly dispatched to Hulk Hogan's Clearwater home early Thursday morning, with operators reportedly stating that he was in cardiac arrest. TMZ also reporting that a slew of police cars and EMTs were parked outside of Hogan's home. And the icon, as they put it, was carried on a stretcher and into an ambulance. Just a few weeks ago, Hogan's wife, according to TMZ, denied rumors that he was in a coma, stating that his heart was strong as he recovered from some surgeries. But certainly there have been some rumors about his declining health in recent weeks. He was born Terry Jean Bollea in Augusta, Georgia.
Shout out to Augusta.
And again, it's really hard to put to words what he meant to sports, to celebrity, his signature blonde hair, his ripping of his shirt before a match. Truly one of the legends of the sports world and of the wrestling world. And we'll wait to hear more confirmation. But right now, again, TMZ reporting that Hulk Hogan has passed away at the age of 71.
Wow.
Jeff Paul, thank you for getting us at least a little bit more information about this. Not just a wrestling legend, but also in entertainment, and even as of late, politics. Let's bring in Lauren Conlon now, entertainment reporter, and we're watching a Trump rally from last election season, and also he was at the convention as well. I mean, he was so beloved. Lauren, you're with me now. In the entertainment world, though, this is an earthquake.
Yes, I mean, Harris, I do not know what is happening this week. We are losing so many wonderful people. And one of Hulk Hogan's last tweets in the last few months was, quote, "Every day I'm reminded that God is good, always faithful, HH." And, you know, I grew up watching wrestling. I grew up watching him on his reality show, Hogan Knows Best. I mean, he is inarguably one of the most important and influential figures in the history of professional wrestling. I think there was this big legendary main event against Andre the Giant in WrestleMania.
I went to that WrestleMania.
The biggest crowd they ever had. There was almost 100,000 fans
I was there
at the Pontiac Silverdome. I mean, he was so popular. This was an event that was talked about for years to come. He was
everyone's friend. Like, he remembered people's names in the audience. I mean, it was really, really remarkable, the connection that every age group had with Hulk Hogan. Your last quick thought.
Yeah, no, you are exactly right. I mean, he was a television dad to me as well. He was not just a wrestler. And so watching him with his children, it was just so wonderful. And my heart goes out to them. I will be praying for his family.
Lauren, thank you.
All right. Yo, this is crazy. We had John MacArthur pass last weekend. We had Theo Huxtable pass recently. And now we got Hulk Hogan. I'm not really even certain what to do this week. I really don't even know what to do. This is totally wild. And the bad thing is I would love to play some more clips of Hogan, but I know the WWE does not play. Do not play with any of their content. They will take it down in a heartbeat. So anyway, I mean, they'll take your channel down. So I don't want to do that, but you can search on YouTube. There's tons of videos of Hulk Hogan's, traditional Hulk Hogan isms and such like that. And this is just wild. Let's see what Philly is talking about him. I'm just looking real quick. Okay, they're doing a live on this topic right here. I didn't know he was from Augusta, Georgia, though. Shout out to Augusta. Oh, that means they're gonna build a shrine out there in Augusta for the Hulkster. This is I'm right there with you. This week has been wild. All right, what we got here? Good commentary. What now? This makes sense. Why people in trial court chat? We're talking about Hulk. Yeah, this is a pretty wild story, to say the very least, man. But praying that his family is well. But I think they're understating. I will say this, and then I'm not going to be long. I do think they're understating Hulk Hogan's influence, because they didn't mention any of his movie or acting bona fides. Hulk Hogan, I'm going to go on a limb. Hulk Hogan was probably one of the main people to transition from sports into acting or into any other kind of field and keep it at a high level. So The Rock owes his career to Hulk Hogan. Anybody moving from professional wrestling into mixed martial arts or into acting of that nature, they owe that to Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan kicked the door wide open for a lot of people. So, I mean, this is sad to see. And I hate that they seem like they've kind of overlooked some of his other ways that he's been a benefit to, again, like just in acting, as well as in sport, as well as in, of course, political activism and such like that. And it's primarily because of him. He was in, No Holds Barred, Rocky movie. I want to say he was in Commando. There you go. He's played in tons of movies too. So I don't think we can overlook that, but I think it's funny that they don't even mention it. But I mean, there's a lot of 80s babies that are out here, feeling a little misty-eyed today when they think about the Hulkster. I'm just saying. But yeah, I'm just checking real quick. I don't want to get anything that's going to get a copyright strike. But if you just go through YouTube right now, there's absolutely a ton of memorials and the such like that for the Hulkster. So shout out to Hulk Hogan for sure. And praying for his family, for no doubt. We got the Australians. Even the Australians is chiming in on Hulkamania. Hold on, let's see. Okay, here. I like the Australians. I know a lot of y'all like the Sky News as well. So let's bring Sky News in here real quick, and then I'm gonna get out of here and take Chief Executive Second Born driving. Man, she's getting really good at driving too, by the way. All right, shout out. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
I'll be joined by a representative from the charity Oxfam, who is warning that the conditions inside Gaza are creating what Oxfam are calling a petri dish for disease. Now, some breaking news we're getting from our US partner, NBC News, and it is that the wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died. He was 71 years old and died of a suspected cardiac arrest at his home in Florida. Hulk Hogan, a very famous name in wrestling and in world wrestling entertainment, WWE, transformed in many ways wrestling from a kind of niche sport into a major family entertainment. And he was very well known for his theatrics and was in so many ways a big personality. Let's cross live to Washington and our US correspondent, David Blevins. And well, Hulk Hogan, a real wrestling legend.
Yes, indeed. Hulk Hogan had been unwell, we understand, for some weeks, Mark. He underwent major heart surgery back in June, we understand. The emergency services were called to his home at Clearwater, Florida this morning, where he is indeed reported to have died as a result of cardiac arrest. Terry Gene Bollea, as he was born in the state of Georgia, reinvented himself really as Hulk Hogan and became an American icon, personifying that larger-than-life patriotic hero during the Reagan years. He made his name, of course, as a professional wrestler, began his career in 1977, but gained worldwide recognition, really, from 1983 after signing with what was then the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, now Worldwide Wrestling Entertainment. In fact, he was 5 times WWE champion. His 1,474-day reign as champion, the longest in that organization's history. He also holds American television records for wrestling. A staggering 33 million viewers watched one of his fights and remained until the time of his death a brand ambassador for WWE World Wrestling Entertainment. In 1993, he gave up wrestling to pursue a career in film and television. You may remember he had quite the acting career, starring in Rocky III, in No Holds Barred, Suburban Commando, and Mr. Nanny. And some of his television shows included Hogan Knows Best and Hulk Hogan's Main Event. There were several attempts to make a wrestling comeback, none of them particularly successful. And then a departure of sorts, I suppose, into politics, because you may remember that he very famously endorsed the Republican candidate Donald Trump for the White House, famously ripping his shirt from his chest at last year's Republican National Convention. So I am sure we will hear some words of tribute from the US president in due course. But our colleagues at NBC have now confirmed the very sad news that Hulk Hogan, a wrestling legend, an American icon, a man who really represented all things patriotic about this nation, has died at the age of 71.
Just looking here at the newswires and saying that he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame in 2005 by Sylvester Stallone. And as you say, he transformed wrestling in many ways, turned it into a real sort of cultural powerhouse, I guess, thanks to cable TV in the United States. And then, as you say, there was this fascinating relationship at the end with Donald Trump, where he used to appear at so many of his rallies.
Yes, and we've often reflected on how when Donald Trump talks about America returning to a golden era, it really is an attempt to turn back the clock to those days of the 80s and 90s, those Reagan years, really, when there was so much emphasis on American heroism, on patriotic stances. And that's why I suppose Hulk Hogan was the most best suited candidate to step into the role of being a representative of that era. And it would explain why Donald Trump and his campaign frequently invited Hulk Hogan to appear at his campaign rallies, why he stepped onto the stage last year at the Republican National Convention when Donald Trump, just a few days after he himself had survived that assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, was officially endorsed as the Republican candidate at the beginning of his journey back to that remarkable comeback of his own into the White House. He was very, very glad to have the endorsement of a man who had been able to capture television audiences both in the ring and in movies and through his own television shows for many years. And he will be greatly saddened, I'm sure, by this news. We haven't heard anything from the White House at this stage, but in due course, I'm sure we will, because some would quite rightly argue that Hulk Hogan was able to bring his supporters on board behind Donald Trump as he ran for the White House, because he himself had established his presence as an American icon, as a symbol of patriotism right through the 80s, 90s, noughties, until the time of his death.
2010s. Come on, take it all the way up to the top.
Okay, David, thank you very
I
much
agree.
indeed. And WWE has just been tweeting confirmation of this, saying WWE is saddened to learn that the Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan has passed away, one of pop culture's most recognizable figures. Hogan helped WWE achieve global recognition in the 1980s. WWE sends its condolences to Hogan's family, friends, and fans. And yeah, David, so confirmation clearly from WWE, and he was, well, they say it, one of pop culture's most recognizable figures.
For sure.
Yes, and it would be impossible, I think, to overstate the significance of the contribution he made to wrestling. Of course, it has always been something that was followed in each individual state across America, but he, I suppose, to some extent, put it on the world map. He began his career back in 1977, but gained that worldwide recognition in 1983 when he signed for the World Wrestling Federation, which went on to become the WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. No one else managed to achieve the record he had, nearly 1,500 days reigning as the champion of WWE, 5 times World Wrestling Entertainment champion, and bringing in a staggering television audience of 33 million for one of his fights. So you can see, when he was able to attract that kind of a television audience, why he then was able to make the move he did into movies, into television, and subsequently to some extent into politics, and why politicians like Donald Trump, who's always very keen to have a television audience, we know how often he likes to hold court, so to speak, in front of the television cameras, would be willing to bring someone like Hulk Hogan on board to endorse his campaign and to bring his legion of supporters into the Make America Great campaign that Donald Trump was leading in the run-up to the last election. It's been quite the journey, really, for a man who was born into a very humble background in the state of Georgia, to make his way through the ranks of wrestling, through the ranks of entertainment, to become not just an American, but a worldwide, global icon, and to then become someone who was able to endorse Donald Trump to the extent that some would credit him with playing a significant part in the president's return to the White House last November.
Yeah, and I guess testament to his, well, his sort of global recognition factor that Donald Trump did, invite him to all those rallies.
Yes, I think, Mark, it's worth reflecting on the fact that it's not just the fact that he had that wrestling career, he had the acting career, he had the television presentation career, but it's also his rather striking image, that blonde moustache that was unmistakable whenever he appeared anywhere, even in his dark glasses, even if he was wearing a baseball cap. He was unmistakably Hulk Hogan, recognized not just right across America, but right across the world. And Donald Trump is a man who's very much about image, how things are seen, how things play out. And so you can see why these two became friends, why he became such a champion of Donald Trump, and why his endorsement mattered so much to the president in the run-up to last year's election. But ultimately, when we cut through all the politics and all through the entertainment, I think it is the wrestling that he will be most remembered for, because he is a man who really put wrestling on the world stage, bringing in vast television audiences at home and abroad. And it is very sad news for his fans that Hulk Hogan has left us at the age of 71.
And as I say, transforming wrestling in this combination with the sort of growth of cable TV, the formation of WWE, and this transformation of wrestling from this well, relatively niche sport into this sort of global family entertainment.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar sport it became as a result of people like Hulk Hogan becoming involved. It all being about the ability to wrestle in the ring, but also about the imagery around it and all the glitz and glamour around it. It became very much about how people appeared, how they were able to attract audiences, and there is no question whatsoever about Hulk Hogan's ability to do that. It is staggering, really, that he holds that television record to this day when you consider how the entertainment business and how broadcasting has changed. 33 million viewers watching one wrestling match. That is just incomprehensible for those of us who spend our time looking at television audiences these days. So he absolutely put this small-time sport from across the US states onto the national stage and onto a global stage, and became an icon, as I say, not just here in the United States, but across the world too, with his trademark, a blonde mustache and long blonde hair, and his stunts, not least that decision to rip his shirt off his own chest at last year's Republican National Convention as an act of heroism, an act of patriotism, demonstrating strength just days after Donald Trump himself had survived an assassination attempt. And he did that at the Republican National Convention in his determination to endorse Trump for his run for the White House. And there are many across the United States and elsewhere who would credit Hulk Hogan with having played some significant part in returning Donald Trump to the White House.
David, thank you very much indeed. Wrestling star Ric Flair on
on
X. I'm absolutely shocked to hear about the passing of my close friend Hulk Hogan. Hulk has been by my side since we started in the wrestling business. An incredible athlete, talent, friend, and father. Our friendship has meant the world to me. He was always there for me, even when I didn't ask for him to be. He was one of the first to visit me when I was in hospital with a 2% chance of living, and he prayed by my bedside. And Hulkster, no one will ever compare to you. Rest in peace, my friend.
Why did you skip that about him helping him with money?
By Gareth Thompson, founder of Wrestling Church and Hulk Hogan super fan. And thank you very much for being with us. And well, the death of a legend.
Yeah, I mean, Hulk Hogan was one of the greatest professional wrestlers to have ever lived. And he, as you mentioned, took what was a small territory in New York and took it into a national and global stage. And he has been, when people think of wrestling, the first name that comes up is Hulk Hogan. You know, this is very, very sad for those who are fans of his. But for the wrestling community as a whole, he is a pillar. He is one of those Mount Rushmore guys.
Sure.
And yeah, it's very, very sad to hear of his passing today.
And so what was his appeal? Why did he play such a big part in the transformation of wrestling, do you think?
I think it was his ability to transcend the sport. He was able to go into movie theaters and people would know who he was. He had a starring role in Rocky III as Thunder Lips before he actually became famous within the WWF at the time, now the WWE. So he knew what it meant to be a multi-platform star. He had that appeal. He was larger than life, the 24-inch pythons. And he was one of those guys that not only could wrestle in the ring, but he could talk people into arenas. And so you could put him on a chat show, you could put him on a morning news program, and he would be able to talk the talk and people would pay tickets to see him. He really was a star, a mega star, bigger than what the WWF could have ever imagined at the time.
Yeah, and I mean, he then, as David Blevins was just saying, and I saw him a number of times in the States attending these Trump rallies. What was that all about?
I think that Hulk Hogan, he has his political views. I think that he aligned himself with Trump. His entrance music was real American. He was a patriot, you would say. He really cared about the American people. You were always wearing red, white, and blue. So he was known for that. And I think him putting himself to Donald Trump was his way of putting his platform and his star power behind someone that he believed in. I would say that regardless of your politics, any star of Hulk Hogan's magnitude putting their name to a candidate or even a presidency is immense. But Hogan was doing what he felt was right for him at the time. I think that's fantastic for him. And obviously Trump has his own history with professional wrestling, having been in the ring himself a few times and been involved in WWE. So, they were kind of a bit of a match made in heaven, them two together.
Gareth Thompson, appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And just to recap, Hulk Hogan, the wrestling legend, has died at the age of 71. Now, the UK has signed a landmark trade deal with India, the largest agreement.
Shout out. Everybody, I just wanted to give you an update. It appears pretty clear that Hulk Hogan has passed away. We had John MacArthur last Saturday. We had Theo Huxtable earlier this week. And now we got this. This is getting pretty wild. But y'all, be encouraged for sure. Life is short. So go hug the people that matter. I'm about to go here and hug Chief Executive Second Born, take her driving, and wait for my wife and the other one to get home this evening. Hug your people. Ozzy Osbourne, yep, he did pass away recently. You're correct. So it's a wild day, man. Like, good gracious. I cannot believe we're actually having this conversation. But it is what it is, y'all. So go hug the people that matter. Continue to keep Christ first. Be encouraged because life is short. So make the most of it. I'm gonna go make the most of it, even though it's like 1,000 degrees outside here in Georgia. So I'm still gonna go take this girl driving. So anyway, you all have a fantastic rest of the day. And if you don't mind, before we leave, let me ask this. If you could, comment in the comments of this video if you have a favorite wrestler. It could be like old school, like Randy the Macho Man Savage, or it could be somebody new school, like any of those new school wrestlers. If you like wrestling, comment down in the comments. I'd love to hear and see who your favorite wrestlers are and such of that nature. I'm looking forward to rocking with you all again real soon. So thank you so much. Let's get ready to do this again, Lord willing, real soon. Until then, everybody, grace and peace.